If you're a business owner, you don't need us to tell you running a business is tough. Don't let QuickBooks and spreadsheets slow you down anymore. Now is the time to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite gives you the visibility and control over your financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. Join the over 21,000 companies using NetSuite right now. Schedule your free product tour right now at netsuite.com/C-suite. netsuite.com/C-suite.
Welcome to the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and as always, I'm sitting here with the homie Kevin.
Good evening, everybody. Guess what we just finished doing?
Yeah, well, I just urinated.
Well, damn it, dude. No, shit.
I mean, that's what I just did.
You do not know D-Way.
Don't mention Ugandan Knuckles on our Black Panther review podcast.
There it is.
Yeah,
there it is.
yeah.
There's the good news.
Oh,
yes, the movie. We watched it.
Yeah, we just got back from the theaters. We just saw it. We really haven't spoken a whole lot about it.
Yeah,
and so we're gonna get a lot of fresh thoughts and a lot of fresh takes on it, and we're gonna get you guys up to speed ASAP. So we're gonna spoil everything for you
every
right here,
dadgum thing
right
on the
now.
table. I was about to make that damn joke too. Yeah,
like man, the part when Ultron comes back to life.
I know,
and then
right?
Freaking Adam Warlock comes out of nowhere,
and then Cthulhu rises from the Wakandan River.
Okay,
that part was awesome.
At least I was referencing Marvel characters.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
I bet you I could find a comic somewhere in Marvel's history where Cthulhu made an appearance. I bet you I can.
Oh, I know you can.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Oh, well, there you go. I won.
If you can name the appearance, you win.
Nope. Nope. Not even gonna front that. No, sir. I got nothing. I bet you it was one of those Journey. The Journey.
None of them used Cthulhu because they can't.
Yeah, that's good. I guess that does technically still belong to Lovecraft.
Yeah. The closest thing I've seen is Aquaman definitely summoned something really close to Cthulhu. But anyways, people, we just saw Black Panther. So, of course, the first half of this podcast, or I say the first half, who knows how this is going to be balanced out. The first portion of this podcast is going to be spoiler free. So,
asterisk, our best attempt.
Yeah. So fret not. We're not gonna spoil anything here for you guys about the movie. At least not anything super major. Not anything that you didn't already know, or two is a major component to the film.
Either way, the purpose of this first half is to give you a review, an honest opinion, honest take of it from normal those not getting paid to talk the movie up or to diss it.
Yep. That's our role here, and then of course after that, it's going to be a brief break, a 5-second break, and we're going to come back and with our spoiler-filled review.
I know how you should count down those seconds. We'll get to that when it's time.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
I thought about this one like yesterday.
So first off, Kevin, just to kick this thing off here, what were your overall thoughts here of the movie? Like just vaguely speaking.
Okay, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly, this shit is up there for me.
Yeah.
Okay, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now, no, I didn't feel weird. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit this ball out of the park right freaking now.
Okay.
I didn't feel weird being a white guy watching this movie.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure I'm not the only guy out there who had that thought. Like, I wonder if this is gonna try to make me feel weird. No, it did nothing of the sort. It was a damn good movie. Off the cuff, I was happy as hell.
Yeah.
Dude.
And you know, I don't.
What's up?
I was going to say, and I wanted to go ahead and get this out of the way too, because I don't want people to feel like that kind of focus.
Exactly.
But I will say this though, and then I'll move on from this. Maybe now, a lot of people can finally understand how it feels when a black person watches most movies.
That's actually a really fair point. Yeah. Well said.
Yep.
But I will say this as well, though. This movie in the Marvel MCU and everything, it is up there, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this and Winter Soldier are like the two tag team partners that dominate the MCU.
Yeah, you know, I didn't, like, I was excited about this movie when I heard that it was announced. I was even more excited about it when I found out that Ryan Coogler was going to be the director. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, as the cast was being built up, I got more and more excited. And of course, Black Panther being one of my favorites, I got more and more excited. So, like we discussed a couple of days ago for the preview cast, my biggest fear was that I was going to set myself up too high, and then let myself down.
I don't think you did.
No, I didn't. I will say this: the movie is definitely one of the best. This got to be. I mean, it is like
easy.
Yeah. But it does have some flaws, just like pretty much every other Marvel movie.
It does. Yeah. It very much does. You know, and we'll get to those in due time as well. Right. But I will still say gladly and happily, and I know I had this thought, and I am shamelessly admitting it.
Yep.
This movie killed the piss
out of some
dadgum Ragnarok.
Here we go. I knew it was coming.
You knew it was coming up. It needed to be said. All right? I'm sorry, Chris Hemsworth. It's true. Your movie just wasn't up to par. And Black Panther took your freaking fumble here and just ran with it and said, "The hell with you, I can do this by myself."
Yeah.
Anyways,
that's completely true.
Yeah.
But I guess on that mention though, one reason why the Black Panther is definitely more superior in my view than any other Marvel movie we've gotten last year, Marvel made movie that is. The reason why it's more superior than any of those movies, in my opinion, it's because it was the most tonally correct. Like Ryan Coogler understands the character. He understands what it's like to bring them to life. He feels like I feel like he understands what these characters would go through and kind of the struggles they would face and the questions they have to ask themselves every day. Like Ryan Coogler, he really did his homework for this one, and he really put his signature on that, because Ryan Coogler does have a signature touch if you've seen any of his other films, and he does bring it to this movie too in a really great way.
Remind us real quick, what are some other works from Coogler?
Fruitvale Station and Creed are two, just a name.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just so people get a fresh take. No, I agree, dude. He definitely hit the tone well. I mean, the scenes that had, you know, the setup and the storytelling for the emotion they were trying to portray, you felt, you felt welcome when he landed and actually showed us the whole kingdom. You felt welcome whenever you got introduced to other characters. You felt sad when appropriate. You felt happy when appropriate. It was awesome.
Right. Yeah, I will agree with that, most definitely. One other thing is that, like, this movie, he definitely understands... He definitely understands the characters, at least for the most part. There's some things where were a little iffy for me, but for the most part, like, I thought that he nailed the character dynamics out of the park.
Yeah. Yeah, there were a few points too where I noticed it felt like it was kind of going outside of the original story, and I'm going to rely on you a lot more because I know you read a whole ton more Black Panther than I have, even in the past few days.
And you know, that's the thing, and that was one of my worries going into this movie. You know, that we even discussed in the preview podcast was, maybe changing some things or possibly watering down some things just so it'd be simpler or easier for the audience to understand.
Right.
Because admittedly, like, Black Panther, he's not as well known as a lot of other superheroes.
Right, yeah. Especially ones that have been made famous and popular in recent years, like Iron Man and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, for a lot of people, Civil War was their first exposure to Black Panther.
That's true, yeah.
But, let's kind of touch on some points here. How'd you feel about the pacing overall of this movie?
Honestly, I really enjoyed it, dude.
Yeah.
There weren't any moments that I can recall now where I was just kind of like, well, okay then. Yeah, and there was nothing that felt rushed or out of place. I mean, there were a few moments, and this isn't exact related, but it kind of is in the ballpark here. There were a few, like, 2 moments where I felt, like, jarred. Not because of the pacing. No, the pacing of the storytelling was superb, but it was almost more an editing issue, like a technological thing, where it's like, I'm going to try to reenact it here, so people can kind of hear an example of what I'm saying. It was like an example whenever one of the characters started a monologue, and then something started immediately, just like an awkward lack of space in between like that,
Gotcha, yeah.
And I was kind of like, oh, I heard it twice in the movie. I was just kind of like, I wonder what the deleted scene is here. If it's an extended scene that they just had to cut short,
right,
or something like that.
That's what I'd imagine it is.
Yeah, and in that case, it's like, okay, no big deal. Who gives a crap? I want to see the whole scene when the DVD comes out. Yeah. Or excuse me, let me get up to date here. The Blu-ray.
Old man Keister and his DVDs.
Old man Keister. I kind of like the sound of that. Except that sounds like a really bad folk song or something. Old man Keister. Yeah,
it does.
I need a cooler name.
But yeah, I also really enjoyed the pacing of this movie as well. Like I thought it kept up a really good pace. I mean, like they did a good job of drawing me in from the very beginning.
Oh yeah, dude. The opening scene was cool.
Right. I will say this, like, I don't think anyone can adequately, not that you want to, but I don't think that anyone would adequately predict the opening scene of this movie.
No.
I mean, like, I guess my opinion, like, I didn't give it too much thought going into the movie, but my thought was, okay, it's probably going to open up, we're going to get a shot of Wakanda, and then, but, like, what they do is really well done. It's really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it was not predictable. That was the thought I had to. Like, I was roped in immediately. And it's like, oh, shit.
Where are we going with this? And then you see where they're doing it, and it's really well done. Like, I really thought it was really well executed.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking at my notes here. Like,
I was about to say, like, what did you take time to write down?
So I got 18 pages of notes here. On the
what the And, like, 17 of them are spoiler filled. It's like 1/2 page of safe questions,
right?
And then just like a little bit of, oh shit, that was good.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So let's talk about some of these characters here.
Yeah, let's start off. I was
just gonna say overall, I will say this, that I thought that this movie potentially has some of the best and most likable side characters I've ever seen.
Very true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like everyone that we met, especially within the main character, freaking Black Panther's family.
Yeah,
they were the shit, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel that. I wish that Angela Bassett had more to do. That was one thing I felt wanting here.
Yeah, I agree there. Just because she is a powerful actress by herself, I am not disappointed with what they gave her either. She handled every scene she was in well.
Right. Yeah. She can take a scene and take a part and really just and make it what it needs to be. Make it emotionally packed.
Like you forget that's Angela Bassett, and you think that's who she is supposed to be.
Yeah. Ramonda. Yeah.
Thank you for the name.
Yeah.
But she was amazing. Black Panther's sister was awesome.
Yeah, Shuri played by Letitia Wright. She did amazing. She was great in this movie. I really enjoyed her character a whole lot. What would you think about Shuri here in this movie?
I loved her, and I don't know, I'm laughing at myself because I loved her, but she called like the white people coloners, and I'm just like, oh shit. That wasn't spoiling. That was fair. I was just like, Q. Did she say what I think she said? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thanks, buddy.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, it was still great. It was funny.
You know what she was doing? She was reciting fucking history.
No, damn it. No, someone was. Someone definitely was. One of the characters was. But,
yeah.
Indeed.
Oh,
yeah.
But yeah, I thought that Shuri, I even said this in the preview cast, just from what I've seen in the trailers and all that, I said that she felt like she was really funny, clever, and intelligent, and she definitely nailed that here in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I was really happy that she was such a likable character, man. She was really one of the standouts for me in this movie.
Yeah, she definitely was.
Right.
I want to see her again.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Like we've got to see her again. I mean, definitely it's got to be in Black Panther 2, the sequel. I guess, spoiler alert, Black Panther lives. There's going to be a sequel.
As he shrugs and just kind of confusingly looks into the mic like, who's going to think otherwise?
Right.
Yeah.
If you didn't already know, he's going to be in Infinity War.
Black Panther died. The end. If he wasn't in the Infinity War trailer,
right.
Somebody get this man a shield. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that Shuri was such a wonderful character.
Ooh, who we need to talk about next?
Oh, you okay?
Not yet. No. I was gonna say the short appearances we had of his dad.
Oh yeah, King T'Chaka. Yeah. So in the preview cast, I mentioned that he's being played by two actors, by a father and a son duo. We know which led us to come to the conclusion that there's got to be something that they're doing here that's got to be really unique,
like a flashback or something.
Yeah, some kind of really cool flashback. It was really well done.
It was. Yeah. It was very tasteful, and honestly, it felt. And correct me, help me recall if I'm being incorrect here, but it did feel very original for a lot of the Marvel stories that we've told. A lot of the ones that we've already seen. It's kind of like, this type of thing has not happened before, and not the exact way they did it, which I won't go into, but.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
The idea that what they did, how they pulled it off.
We've had cool flashbacks in Marvel movies before, but this one, like you said, was definitely one of the most uniquely done, in my opinion. Yeah. So, that was really well done. King T'Chaka, if you didn't already know, he does definitely make an appearance. And I mean, because in the preview cast, we discussed a couple ways that they could do it, and it was just a really well executed thing here, because we can't talk about it too much without going into further details.
This is the hardest part of the podcast.
Us. Just trust us that it's is very, very tasteful. What'd you think about Andy Serkis as Claw?
I loved him. Yeah. Oh my gosh, there was not dude. The first time he and the crew appeared on TV. I'm sorry, TV. What the hell am I saying? I bootleg the movie, guys.
Your old man, Kevin.
That VCR system I got. I gotta go rewind my tape. Give me a minute.
You got the bunny ear antennas.
Exactly. Yeah. But first time he and the crew appeared on the big screen, it was awesome. Like, I gotta admit, I was sitting there thinking, like, dude, this feels like some cool ass Ocean 11 shit. Like, I kind of want to be a part of the crew, you know?
Right, yeah.
I want a part of this awesome thing going on here. Yeah. No, man, he was hilarious. He was charmful, but he was also appropriately a cool ass villain. Right. Super well done.
Yep.
Yeah,
I do agree. There is something, I don't think it's a plot hole, but it's something that we're going to discuss in the spoiler field section.
Yeah,
concerning Claw. I guess if I forget, remind me to bring this up again. In case
it's definitely a question I had. Like, I know I'm pretty confident.
Okay.
I know what you're gonna say. Okay. But
I thought that Andy Serkis had an amazing energy for this role. Like, he had so much fun with it. And you can tell he was eccentric, like extremely eccentric. Like, he was definitely a different version of Claw that I've never read before in the comics. But I think that was a good thing.
I had a thought about that because the first time we saw him, obviously, was when he was associating with Ultron, right? After associating with one of the biggest baddies of the Marvel Universe. What's there to stop you, man? If everything you encounter after that one big baddie is just like a bunch of other human, mortal, normal people, then it's like, what the hell am I so scared of? Come on, guys. I'm Andy Serkis.
Right. And he did seem like there was a change in his demeanor and the way that he acted overall from Age of Ultron to now.
Yeah. Because Age of Ultron, he was kind of like, oh, what? Oh, yes, sir. Yeah. Kind of like, okay, let me actually follow and not, I don't know. That's what I recall. Yeah.
Yeah, he, I don't know. I think in Age of Ultron, to me, he seemed, I guess, a little bit more, he seemed still slimy and like a sleazeball.
Very much so, yeah.
But he also seemed like a little more tame in Age of Ultron in comparison to now.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, here he really did his thing here. I feel like Andy Serkis, like he really he was really willing to like just swing for whatever's thrown his way.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, hey, can I do this scene? Yeah. Awesome. I'm gonna do it.
Right.
Do it.
Yeah. I mean, like he really does like kind of magnetize himself in almost every scene he's in.
Yeah. Like, again, I'm gonna admit, the first time we see him, it was like, I'm kind of rooting for him. Holy piss. Yeah. Like, yeah, you do what you're doing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I really liked him. But yeah, let's talk about Oyoke. Of course, she's played by our girl Dana Guerrero. Yeah. There we go. Gurira, that's it. What you think about Oyoke here?
Badass.
Yeah.
That actress, dude, she can handle a badass, prominent female.
She can.
Yeah. Like, give her a badass leadership-esque role where she's just leader of her character. She doesn't even have to be a leader over shit. She can just be like, I'm independent, I'm here, you know, and give her a weapon too. Then it's like, well, shit, not only is she an independent, strong ass, you know, butt kicking woman,
right.
She's gonna own the fight scenes too.
Yes. She's a strong, independent black woman who don't need no man.
Exactly.
And,
she didn't. No, she was freaking great, dude, the whole time.
She was amazing.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah. She was really amazing.
Yeah.
I will say this. She was definitely the most focused on member of the Dora Milaje. Mm-hmm. Definitely so.
Well, in a sense, and I want to ask you about this. She, in my eyes, as one who saw the movie, she played almost the leader of that crew.
Yeah.
Like she was the lieutenant of the whole army, or the squadron there. And then, of course, Black Panther being her boss.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's how it's portrayed in the comics at all or not, you know?
Yeah. In the Dora Milaje, there were like generals. I believe, though, for a good spell, there was Aneka, who was the leader, who we really don't see a whole lot of. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, Oyoke is the most focused on member, but you know, at first hearing that, like especially if you're a fan of the Dora Milaje, you may think of that as a negative. But like once you see just how good Dana is portraying Oyoke, then you're like, okay, I can kind of forgive this.
Yeah,
she really does a great job. Like I feel like she could kick anyone's ass in real life at this point.
Basically, yeah. I mean, they taught her to use a samurai sword. Now she knows how to use a damn spear too.
Right.
I mean, like, heaven forbid you give her a gun. She doesn't need it, but yeah.
They're primitive.
Watch next movie. Oh, all she needs to do is be in a movie with Keanu Reeves. You know, like John Wick,
like John
or
Wick.
something. Yeah, and then like she learns how to use guns like he does. Oh my shit, dude.
Oh,
she'd be on my team no matter what.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she really played like this really cool stoic character. This character who I will say this, she seemed like really conflicted at times, which was a good thing for the character and for her development, because she's really forced to make a decision here, you know, between what she really wants to do versus her position that is so highly esteemed. And it really makes for a good conflict here in this movie.
Right, and I'll be happy to divulge more about that in a few minutes here. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Which one's next?
Let's talk about Wakambi.
Wakambi.
Yeah, Wakambi was he was the Get Out. Daniel.
Yeah. I can't remember his last name.
Daniel
either,
K. That's what we'll
okay.
call him. His last name starts with K. Don't probably remember it. Of course, he was the star of Get Out, and he plays Wakambi. And Wakambi, he's a really close friend and associate, and pretty much the right hand man to T'Challa in the comic books, and they do a really cool job of playing that out here in the film.
Yeah, I definitely felt that vibe, especially early on in the movie whenever we're first introduced to him.
Right.
I loved his getup, dude. Like that kick-ass royal blue cloak he had on. I was like, what the shit?
Oh, yeah.
I want to wear that.
Right.
And then later on, when you see what the cloaks do,
Oh, yeah.
premonition here for the listeners. But man, like, oh my gosh, dude. I'd wear a blanket around too.
Yeah. And you know, like he really also does a good job of almost adding meat to his own role, because I feel like if a subpar actor had that role, then it would have maybe felt a little flat.
Right. He would have just kind of fallen back, you know.
Yeah. But you know, Daniel, he has like just enough charisma to really insinuate this role in the way that it needs to be.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't try to overpower anyone else on the screen, but what he does is he plays his character in a way where you can, like, from his facial features to like his even his posture and demeanor, like you can really tell what he's thinking, how he's feeling about certain things, and why he even feels that way.
Exactly. His personality, his own character definitely helped carry that role a little bit more. And
Right.
you definitely saw a cool life being breathed into it. That doesn't make sense to me. What the hell? But you saw this awesome energy come off the screen every time he was there portraying this person, and it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you say his name?
Too.
Wakambi?
Yeah, Wakambi.
Wakambi. That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
Yeah. Let's move over a little bit and talk about excuse me. Let's talk about M'Baku.
Yeah, I was hoping to get into him next. Dude, holy shit, he was cool.
Yes.
Also, we got him right, guys. Not to spoil nothing either. No.
Right, yeah.
I'm sorry. What did we say?
We kind of got him right in multiple senses. That can be for the better or for the worse, depending on how you look at it.
There you go. That's good. That's confusing people. Yeah. We didn't spoil anything.
Yeah.
But no, he definitely, I mean, what was that actor's name, dude? I know you know it.
Yeah, actually I have it written down here. That's why I have this here.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Winston Duke is his name.
Dude, Winston was great.
Winston
man.
was, yeah.
I feel like I could have done with him a little bit more time on screen. I would have been happy to get more of him. Right. What we did get, however, still was appropriate too. Like, for the sake of the story, in my opinion, it came off well.
Right.
You know?
I have mixed feelings about his, not about what he did with the character, but pretty much how
they decided to use him.
I will say this, like, we see him at one point in the movie, and then the next time we see him, in my opinion, he's no longer this intimidating man ape of a man anymore. Now he's just.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely have my own thoughts about that too.
I mean, because he is supposed to be this really imposing threat to to Black Panther, to T'Challa, and to the throne. But that's kind of the issue with having three villains in the movie.
Right.
Is that like obviously somebody has to fall back a little bit.
To be honest, I will say this: I agree with you on what they did with the role. It was a little weird, without revealing details.
Right.
But it was definitely better than trying to Spider-Man 3 it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was better than trying to make a Spider-Man 3 out of it.
Yeah.
But without spoiling anything, though, I will say this: I mean, he is a threat to T'Challa, but I don't know if I'll call him a villain.
Exactly. We even talked about that in the middle of the scene. I think I remember saying something like that. Yeah. But so I guess in a sense you could rate that this movie had 2.5 villains.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Basically.
Yeah.
Basically. But I
what's that TV show? 2.5 Men? I feel like I just made a 2.5 Men joke. There it is.
2.5 villains. Well,
I can only imagine how short that TV show would be.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that show plays out.
It'd be one pilot episode and canceled.
Oh man, you want to move shift gears a little bit and talk a little bit about Martin Freeman, Everett Ross.
Sure, yeah, heck yeah. So I definitely was surprised with the way that they kind of took his role. I didn't expect it. Obviously, I didn't know the character he was portraying well beyond what we saw from Civil War.
Right.
So what I saw of him, I was like, oh, this is kind of a pleasant surprise. That's cool. And then I'm a little curious as to how they're going to handle this in the future. Everything that happens to him and everything that he's been, a part of thanks to the story. Mm-hmm. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on that. Like, was Agent Rossman? Ross, thank you. Yep. Was Agent Ross a part of any of the Black Panther stories before him?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we talked about this in the preview podcast about his role and his long, convoluted name. Or his title. Yeah. So in the comics, essentially, Ross, he worked just like a liaison. He was a deputy department director. Whoa. Didn't I mean for that to be all that alliteration?
Well done.
That was accidental. But essentially, essentially his role, though, in the comics was to escort foreign leaders on domestic soil. So whenever like a foreign leader comes over to the States, it's his job to escort them to make sure that they're safe and comfortable and all that. That's kind of his role. And then, eventually, and one day, of course, in the comics, T'Challa comes to visit, and he has to, do that job for T'Challa.
Yeah.
And then T'Challa ends up, one thing leads to another. T'Challa ends up taking him back to Wakanda, and in the comics, it was like, holy shit, like, what is this place?
Yeah.
And so I really like that they did a good job. I will say this, they did a good job implementing that here in the movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this, and without spoiling too much, obviously, Agent Ross movie versus Agent Ross comic. What happens to him? Cool. That's awesome to hear about.
Right.
Now, character-wise, what would you say there? Differences? A lot of them? Very few? What's up, my man? Rate it, please.
I'm going to say that there's very few differences.
Really? Okay. Cool.
And I will say this also. Unfortunately, to follow it up with this, is that the character of Everett Ross was never that interesting of a character.
Okay.
He was kind of like the bland government guy.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. That's cool.
Right.
It's awesome that they put a face like Martin Freeman up in there too, because
I agree.
He's a cool daggum dude. Despite all the nerd-based movies he's been in, he's a cool guy.
But this is another nerd-based movie.
Oh, that's it. Well, this is a cool ass nerd movie. I digress, though. But that's cool, and I do want to share my thoughts with you, because obviously, and you can feel it too. I have my own. Oh, yeah. I won't say critique, but just curiosity about his character.
Right.
So in due time.
Yeah,
in due time.
I guess before we move on from him, I will say this: like,
Hit me.
I don't know if his role was entirely necessary for the movie, but what we got from him, I really did like.
Yeah, that does tie into my thought a little bit, and I want to debate that in a second. Well, I don't know if debate's the word, but I want to compare it in a second here. Right. Yeah, because again, that ties in with my thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
What's up next, my friend? Nakia or?
Yeah, let's talk about Nakia.
Nakia. Did I say her name correctly? How would you say her name? I can't.
We just saw
right?
We just saw the
remember.
movie. Nakia.
Okay, good enough for me.
Yeah.
Not Nokia, but Nakia.
Yeah, we made that joke last time.
It deserves second merits, okay? Anywho.
It's interesting, though, because you made that joke about Nokia last time, about the phone, and then I followed it up with something like, she, her name is not Nokia, it's Nakia, but she is tough like the Nokia phone. Yeah. And she's also very, very resourceful and tough here in this movie. She can hold her own really well.
Yeah, definitely so. I did see a cool, different kind of independence to her character than we see in anyone else, and I really appreciated it too, actually, because it did bring a uniqueness. It brought a different value to her every time she was on screen, and I loved it. She definitely had her own. I'm using this word carefully, but she definitely had her own loyalties. Not that she was like a double agent or some weird Elektra type,
or Black Widow type.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes, but. Seeing her portrayal as the story unfolds and as that continued on, I liked her. I appreciated her.
Oh, I did too.
I don't know how she compares, however, to the story.
Yeah, as I was about to hit that up.
Thank you.
Yeah, so in terms of how she, in terms of like her characteristics, I thought that those were fairly accurate. In terms of her story, it was pretty far off the mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do know this. I recall you last time talking about how the love interest relationship between her and Black Panther was one thing.
Yeah.
And then in the movie, if my memory is just being incorrect with me now, it was a whole nother thing. It was a whole different ball game in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like in the comics, there was a lot of flirtation and a lot of,
of course,
like should we, shouldn't we type deal. I mean. To my knowledge, though, I mean, don't get me wrong, I haven't read every single Black Panther comic in the world, but to my knowledge, they never really become like a solidified item, and if they do, it definitely wasn't for long. Right. Black Panther's had other women in his life, several other women.
Hey,
hey,
I'm a king, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anywho.
But I mean, because for example, in the comics, she's actually a member of the Dora Milaje, and she uses that role to really get closer to T'Challa. I will say this, in the movie, at times it almost feels like T'Challa's trying to get closer to her.
Yeah, no, that definitely happens, and it's interesting the power that they give that connection between T'Challa and Nakia. You know, it's very. It was cool to watch. It was great for the story, but it was very much like a Now, knowing what I know about the comics, thanks to you and our previous podcast, it was kind of like one of those. Oh, okay, I'm willing to take in the story. That's cool. I'm just gonna realize that this is one card, and the comic book story is a whole other one.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, but this is one of those things that didn't bother me.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, it came off super well.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mind it at all, and I thought it was a natural thing to go. I mean, especially since there was something there in the comics. Like, if there was absolutely nothing there in the source material, and then they fabricate this for the movie, then I'd be like, okay, this is weird.
It'd be like a whole nother movie that we watched some time ago. You're just like, what the shit is this? Did you just, like, wedge this story in? Did you just force this upon your audience?
Looking at you again, Ragnarok. Jeez.
You people.
That movie just can't catch a break with us, man.
I just thought of another movie that did it too. Freaking.
Yeah.
What the shit is that? Not Rogue One, the other one. Not Force Awakens, the other one.
The one that we just watched a couple months ago?
Yeah. Where Kylo's
the Last Jedi.
Way too hot.
Yeah, The Last Jedi.
Yeah. Where they force wedged and like shoved that love story at the very tail end of the movie down our throats, and it's like, what the shit is this? I didn't ask for this.
Yeah, I definitely didn't want to go off into a Last Jedi rant, but
I know, right?
They did come off as weird.
I'm too good at ranting.
I didn't know if that was supposed to be a romantic thing or like just like a shared bond thing. I didn't know. I mean, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, well, I'm saying that to further discredit the movie because I didn't, as a viewer, know what they were going for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it just kind of made me feel more like cringy. Like, oh shit, what's happening? Ooh, I'm uncomfortable. I digress. Let's get back to Black Panther's awesomeness.
Right.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, so we're talking about Nakia here and her role here in the movie. She also gets a lot of screen time as well. And I thought that was really good.
Yeah, it was cool.
I mean, really, just to prepare like the audience here, I really feel that there were a lot of the ladies got love in this movie, man.
They did,
and they deserved it because they carried a lot of it. I thought.
Oh yeah,
they did a great job.
The movie also, for those fans out there who know what this is, it also passed the oh shit, that's ironic. The Bechdel test, the Bechdel test.
I know the test that you're referring to. I don't remember the exact name of it.
It's B something.
Yeah.
Like something ter test. The
Behringer.
Wait, what? What was that? A guess?
That was a straight up guess.
I don't know if that's it though.
I don't know if that's it either.
Okay, you know what? Give me a second.
I said it with so much damn confidence. It could have been it.
That might. It's close to that. I think.
Yeah.
What the shit, phone? Do the things I need you to do. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so we'll just continue on here. So real quickly, because there's some other things that I want to talk about here in the spoiler-free section before we move on here. But I do want to talk about two more characters. Of course, we got to talk about Nadajaka, aka Eric Killmonger.
Yes.
And we have to talk about T'Challa. So we can just kind of talk about these two in tangent together. What you think of Michael B. Jordan's portrayal here?
Dude,
Yeah.
effing loved it, man. Every second he was on screen was the best.
He was, I mean, like, I'm not one who likes to regurgitate things that I hear or see, but he really did bring new life to Marvel villains. What?
The Bechdel test. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
The rectal test. That's right.
No. Oh, shit. We're going to get a lot of hate mail. Anywho, but no, going back to Eric Killmonger here.
Yeah, this is the first time, at least this is my first time, seeing Michael B. Jordan in like a role like this, a role of a villain.
He did super well.
He did really well.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, he's one of the best villains in the MCU now.
He is.
Yeah,
he
easy.
is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He is, I I mean, damn, yeah, he's up there. Yeah. He's definitely one of the most powerful. And when I say powerful, I don't mean like in terms of strength, but in terms of like the character and
like
the
his
depth.
portrayal. Yeah.
He's one of the best villains that we've seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And we are long overdue for one.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm not trying to diss, but I thought that Vulture was good. We said Vulture was really good last year.
Vulture was awesome,
and I think that that Killmonger is going to be it for this year. And we'll see what Thanos has.
Yeah, I mean, come on, knock on some wood there. Yeah.
We
need him to be good too. Yeah,
we need Thanos to really be a good villain.
The one after Thanos, whomever the hell that's going to be, okay. Put your bad juju on that character. Let this one at least be super awesome.
Right.
Yeah, if we have to have bad juju character.
Yeah, if we have to.
Exactly.
Hopefully we don't.
Watch, this is going to be made a villain now. Bad juju is like, oh shit.
But I really loved his, I don't want to say his intentions, but
his reasonings,
like the reasons why he does what he's doing. They did change.
Sense.
Yeah, they made a lot of sense.
Yeah,
they did change his backstory, but like the elements are the same almost.
They also changed the location. I noticed.
Oh yeah,
which was also cool.
Yeah, but I really did like the dynamic here. And I was thinking even in the theater and on the ride home, like which origin did I like better, the origin in the movie or the origin from the comics?
Okay.
And then I realized the fact that I have to think about it bodes well for the movie.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I'm not saying that I enjoyed it more, but I enjoyed it equally as much. It's kind of like, I always have to mention this movie, Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier, the graphic novel, is vastly different from Winter Soldier, the movie, but they're both really well done. And it's kind of the same thing here with the Black Panther movie. Eric Killmonger, like his origin is different from the source material, but it's still so well done that, and they're still capturing the essence of his backstory and of his reasoning, that you really have to give it a pass because it's just that good. I mean, I have very, very little complaints about Michael B. Jordan here, because he really does just take this role and he runs with it. I mean, especially for like someone who, because there's certain actors who you can just peg as being bad guys in movies. Michael B. Jordan's really not one of them.
No, I mean, I've only seen him play heroic parts here,
right?
Up until this movie, and then he plays this, and it's like, whoa, oh shit, like you were an intelligent, badass, strong, capable villain, freaking great.
Yeah. I agree. And of course, Chadwick Boseman returns as T'Challa, aka Black Panther. What you think about T'Challa here?
He carried the role to a whole better level, man. He took this character that we were introduced to thanks to Civil War, and then added the depth, added the backstory, added the pros and the cons and the weaknesses and the strengths too, and gave him a greater purpose and a hell lot more to do than what they did in Civil War.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like, to me, he was still my favorite part of Civil War.
Right, exactly, and that's saying something. Yeah.
But I do completely agree with you. And I was thinking about this, like, in the midst of the movie, because my brain can't help but make these parallels. I was watching the movie and I was like, they're doing such a good job of drawing from source material from so many different places here, especially about the characteristics of T'Challa. It's like they took the heroic action of Christopher Priest, and then they took the regal political side of Ta-Nehisi Coates, and then they put that together in a movie that blended just perfectly well.
Well, that's one of those names you said, Ta-Nehisi Coates. You saw that in the credits.
Yeah, his name's in the credits.
The other one was there too.
I don't know. There was a lot of names. I saw another writer's name in there too. Yeah, there's no way to keep up. Yeah. But as soon as I saw Ta-Nehisi Coates, I was looking for Christopher Priest's name.
You know what this means?
What's that?
We have to go watch it again.
Gotta go watch it again.
Right now.
That's the only way. Well, no.
Pause.
Yeah. I mean, but that's also something I really enjoyed about this movie, because Christopher Priest, he is more, I think, focused on Black Panther, the superhero, and Ta-Nehisi Coates is more focused on the King T'Challa. And those two coming together to really help make this character that we see in the movie was so well done. I remember listening to one interview with Chadwick Boseman because I listened to like all of them.
Yeah,
And,
you're telling me that.
Yeah. And he was asked like, so what did you read to prepare for the role? And he name drops like everybody, like
Nice,
all the different writers that he read from. And like I was thoroughly impressed because I was afraid for a second he was going to say, well, I trust
Wikipedia,
yeah, or something, some BS like I really trust that read the script and the screenwriters that they do a really good job in crafting. No, he went and did his homework just like John Bernthal did with Punisher, or Benedict Cumberbatch with Doctor Strange, or most of these superhero actors. That he really did his homework. Yeah, and so and it showed. You really could tell he did his homework.
Here's a weird question for you. That made me think and compare about other people I know who took the hero roles. Now we know a few of them that, of course, didn't prepare amply. I'm kind of curious. Did Hugh Jackman read Wolverine stuff eventually? Did he do that eventually?
Here's an interesting side note on that.
Yeah, hit me up. Let me know.
Yeah. So for the shooting of X-Men 1, Bryan Singer told the cast, I don't really want you guys to look at the comic books because we have a kind of a different take here on the story of the characters, and we'll get there when we get there.
Okay. Okay.
Hugh Jackman snuck and read comics anyway.
What?
Yeah.
The man, he's a shit, dude. Yes. Good stuff. Thank you, Hugh. Hell yeah. That makes me super happy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he did such a good job of it that eventually, they started a whole nother line of comics where they made Wolverine portrayal more to the Hugh Jackman appearance than the original Wolverine appearance.
Yeah, that was the ultimate line.
Exactly. I remember even the cover of that, just exactly,
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, why is this Wolverine tall and more handsome?
Exactly.
Yeah. But anyways, but back to T'Challa though. I thought that Chadwick Boseman did such a great job because he did have those struggles that I wanted him to have, like the struggles of being a king, of wearing that crown, that metaphorical crown. He's struggling with like the worthiness and accepting that heavy role.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, that's just a note I realized. I'll save it for later. But yeah, no, keep going. Yeah.
And then of course, showing him putting on the face of a king when he needs to, and putting on the face of the Black Panther, like the hero, the icon when he needs to.
Exactly. He definitely knew when each mantle was necessary, and he himself was, and using your terminology here, he himself definitely knew how to be the face for all of it. Yeah, he was good.
So how do you feel about the action pieces here in this movie? Because you can't have a Marvel movie without action.
I know, right? Yeah. Dude, I loved them. Yeah. They were fun. They were really good. And then, oh my gosh, dude! Okay, it's hard to think of an action scene in this movie where some awesome Wakandan technology just wasn't boasting itself. It was so cool watching all this. Stark would have been taking notes, drooling the whole time had he the ability to see this shit. He's just like, I've been playing with Lego bricks. His shit was second place par on the best day of the week to the Wakandan level stuff.
Yeah, if he got the Wakandans to build him an Iron Man suit, that'd be the last suit he'd ever need.
Exactly. That'd be the suit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't be able to call yourself Iron Man anymore.
Yeah. Well, the only other suit that could compare is his bleeding edge suit, but we may see that in Infinity War. So,
okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you see that little 30-second trailer they had? It came out a week ago.
I told you I've been trying to adopt the new rules here. And
man.
I've watched. Admittedly, I've watched a little bit more of the Infinity War stuff. Guys, what I'm talking about here is a few podcasts ago, our boy Caleb, he guest spots with us a lot. He mentioned his rule, and I liked it so much that I adopted it for this movie. And I gotta say, it did make my experience pretty awesome. The most I've seen of the movie was the pre-movie. You're waiting for all the BS and the movie trivia games to go through. They had a little pre-movie trailer of the exact movie, which I thought was interesting as hell. Okay, we're doing this.
Yeah.
But that was the most I've seen of it before sitting down for the theater, and it was great. It was super cool. Yeah.
I don't know. It really didn't affect me any, mostly because they don't show anything major in the trailers, and if they do, you're gonna find out anyway. especially in this line of podcasting.
Especially in this day and age. Dude. It's hard. Like, let me go on Facebook real quick, check the superhero page.
Yeah, like if there's something major that happens in a trailer, even if you don't watch it, then they're gonna social media is gonna hound you with it until like you finally accidentally get a glimpse. But anyways,
that's why you block everything.
You become a caveman. But yeah, anyway, back to T'Challa though. Like Chadwick Boseman, he really did do a great job, I thought, carrying this role. And because if the lead isn't good, then
right,
I mean, what's the point?
Exactly. No, then you're gonna have a way handicapped movie. Mm-hmm. One thing I especially loved about his character was not only his portrayal of the Black Panther as king and warrior, but also his portrayal and connection. He had his own magnet powers, dude, with every other character on there. And of course, that's partly due thanks to those characters as well. But they wouldn't have meant anything had the lead role, like you were saying, like we all want to hear all the time, had the lead role not been great. You know? That connection he had with his family, the connection he had with his rivals, those connections he had, even with freaking Michael B. Jordan. It was awesome the whole time. Like again, like we were talking about very much earlier, it made the tone.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Chadwick Boseman, I feel like he's one of the most underrated actors in Hollywood because the guy really does have one of the most impressive IMDb pages. Like you look at everything he's done, from playing like all these historical figures, from Jackie Robinson to James Brown to Thurgood Marshall. I mean, he's played some really intense roles, and he has nailed them. So it's great to see him. I mean, because if you can nail like a portrayal of people who've actually existed, and then come to the comic book realm, like I thought that he'd have an easy time with this role, and it seems like he really did. Yeah, but he put a lot into it.
I was very happy about it too.
Yeah, I thought, and back to the action, because we were talking about the action a little bit too. I really did enjoy the action in this movie. Overall, it wasn't like my favorite. Like the only thing I think stopping for me and my absolute favorite is that I wish that I think they could have done, especially with all the cool shit they had and did. I think they could have done some things maybe a little bit more creative with some of the fight scenes. Particularly our last big set piece, and we'll get there in the spoiler field section.
That's interesting. I want to hear your thoughts about that. Yeah,
my favorite fight scene. I will say this, guys, it takes place around the middle of the movie, and to me it was superb. It was superb. It was one of those rare times where a movie can take storytelling and a fight element and combine it into one and really make it mean something. Really make it feel impactful. And I thought that was phenomenally done.
Okay.
So yeah, we spent a longer time than I thought we would. Jeez, on the spoiler free section.
Oh shit! How long?
We're at 52 minutes.
Okay, that's okay. That's not bad. I thought you were about to tell me like an hour and a half or something.
No.
It's like I still got work tomorrow, man.
All right, but cool, before we close up shop here, Kevin, like, are there any closing remarks you have on the movie for the spoiler free section? Like what?
Yeah, I got a few things. Yeah. First off, go see the damn movie. Okay, if you haven't yet, go ahead and pause the podcast now and go see the movie.
Yep,
do it now.
Do it.
Also, I mean, damn, dude, it's hard to not enjoy this movie. Like, you're gonna enjoy the movie. Exactly. It wasn't perfect, like we said. It was damn good though. Like. I don't know. Do we want to talk about ratings yet? Because I'm willing to throw down a rating, dude. Yeah. Dude, I want to give this movie like a daggum 9 out of 10. Easy. Like, I loved it, dude. Yeah. And I'm not going to go into the whole decimal fractions. Nah, because it deserves more points. It was damn good, man. What about you?
I gave it a 9.5 out of 10.
You went into damn decimals, man.
I do for every movie review.
I know you do. And
it really does help me accurately rate my movies because I'm like, okay, well, where did I put this movie or where did I put that movie? Well, then this movie I enjoy more or I enjoy less. So, but for this rating, what made it, because it wasn't an easy decision,
right?
Putting it where I put it, and for you guys who've been listening, following, you will realize that I put this movie at the same spot that I put Winter Soldier at.
Yeah, I thought about that. Yeah.
This movie to me, there's some things that I think it does better than Winter Soldier, and some things I think it doesn't quite do as good.
Right. Like I said earlier to you, I think that was outside of the theater.
Yeah.
Or no, I think it was actually just as the movie was ending. This and Winter Soldier tag team are the best Marvel movies out there.
Yeah,
you know,
they really are. Yeah. I mean, because there's a lot of good Marvel movies out there, but a lot of these good Marvel movies, I'm using quotation marks, they're really just there for mindless fun, and I don't want that in my superhero movies because there's so many amazing stories to be told, and Black Panther tells an amazing story.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely go see it, guys. That's our scores. You just got two amazing scores here from two guys that kind of know what they're talking about from time to time.
Guys that mostly rip shit apart.
It's not true. We give things.
Man, we rip shit apart in the middle of this.
we give, like, if you deserve a glorious rating, we will grant you a glorious rating.
We do that. Indeed.
Yeah. If you don't deserve it, well then we're gonna shit all over you.
Exactly. But we're gonna rip it apart and tell you why it is shit. Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, Black Panther is great, guys. Definitely go see it.
Hell yeah.
Kevin, you said you had something in mind for our pause because we're gonna take a pause here before we pick up.
Oh shit! I'm so happy about this. Yeah. Okay. So this is what I really want to hear you do. Okay. Because you're better at this than me with some of these voices here. Okay?
Oh shit. Okay.
I want you to. How long? 7 seconds? That's what we did the last time.
Was it 7? I thought it was 5.
We can do 5. That makes more sense. Okay. Whatever. Guys, just be smart and pause. But no, I really want to hear you do your Wakandan accent.
I knew you were going to go there.
Come on, man. Give me your best Wakandan.
You're going to go there.
Man. Come on. You can practice a little bit. Practice a little bit. Warm up.
Yep.
Don't be afraid to do it live.
Oh, yeah. So, one thing I will say about the movie is... the combat, real quick, because I was going to forget. The combat is actually based off of like different African practices.
Based off of... Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
ooh,
yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. The more you know. I did not know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into the countdown here.
Okay.
So we're gonna take a 5-second break, and when we come back from the 5-second break, we're gonna pick up with the spoiler-filled section of the of our Black Panther review. So if you need to go see the movie, pause it now, go watch the movie, and then come back and resume.
You're not doing your Wakandan.
I am not.
Come on, do your Wakandan, man. You want me to do it with you? You do one number, I'll do the other number, and we'll keep going back and forth.
If you want to do it,
I'll do it. I'll try.
I mean, it's just gonna be hard doing like Wakandan accent with one syllable words. You know.
Then work at it. We'll make it harder together. We'll do it. Damn it. Okay. Wait, can I have a warm up a minute here?
Please.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. You know, my friend. Right there, the friend. I like trilled the tongue accidentally. Yeah. You know, my friend. This was a great movie, and I really enjoyed it. Well, not my worst.
Definitely not your worst.
No, I mean it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
anyways, let's move on here. We're like an hour deep, so let's go ahead and do this shit.
Sure. Okay. Start us off, my friend.
1, my brother.
2, my brother.
3 for Wakanda.
4 for Bast.
5, our Panther God.
To the Black Panther.
To the Black Panther. All right, and we're back.
We're back.
We had
hope you enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, we had like 2 random drunk Wakandans in here to give us a countdown.
Indeed. Two drunk Wakandans with bellies full of popcorn. Indeed.
Yeah, so we're back. And, with now the spoiler filled section. So now I'm assuming that all you guys have seen the movie. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did.
Exactly. If you haven't, well, we warned you.
Yeah. So what should we start at here with the spoiler filled section? What's on your mind that you immediately want to get off?
First things first. Let's try our best to begin chronologically. As we train wreck that idea.
Yeah.
But beginning from the beginning, I loved the intro sequence, dude. I thoroughly enjoyed the shit out of that. I want some cool ass magic sand. You know, telling me shit like, oh, I'm gonna use this to portray like my strategy mapping and pick up a cool ass thing and like open it. Yeah. Like it's sand, but you're using it like a damn toy car. Right. And then like the opening sequence of the actual telling of the Wakandan history, how it came to be. We needed something like that because you can't begin a story about a cool ass kingdom hidden away from planet Earth and just expect people to be okay with this, you know? Yeah.
And, you know, like, and they did a really good job with that because we don't need like a 10-minute exposition explaining how the vibranium got there.
Right.
Like, they did a good enough job in that like little minute sequence telling us how that happened.
I do have a theory though. In the Marvel Universe, it was this vibranium comet that killed the dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's true. Because in this universe, they said it happened millions of years ago.
Yeah.
I think in the comics, it's only like thousands of years ago. But, you know, potato.
Either way.
Yeah.
I mean, numbers are numbers at that point. But here's the cool thing. As much vibranium as we saw, as large as that big-ass hole was, how large was that comet? You know? How large must it have been?
Yeah.
The thing at least would have been the size of Rhode Island plus.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, of course that thing would have annihilated some daggum dinosaurs. Goodbye, Jurassic World. Bye, Blue.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the flashback scene that we get very close to the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I didn't know where that was going at first. It's like, what are we doing here? What's happening?
Yeah, the
like,
T'Chaka Black Panther.
Yeah, 1992 here. Like, what's happening here? And then, of course, like they do a really great job, like explaining what's happening here and breaking down the story here. And of course, like I knew that little kid outside had to have been T'Chaka. It's like that's got to be Killmonger. And then, of course, it was. But I really enjoyed that opening scene there when we come to find out that not only is one of them from Wakanda, they're both from Wakanda.
Right. Like I was just imagining that, and my first thought at that point was like, oh shit, okay. Oh shit, what? Everyone in the room is Wakandan. And it's like, oh man.
Right.
Because that guy, whomever played the young Zula, he did a great job acting the fool. He was just kind of like, we're bowing. Okay. You know.
Yeah, he did a really good job,
But then all of a sudden he's like, I speak Wakandan too, here's my tattoo.
Yeah.
Also, how the hell did you get the tattoo? Because Eric had the tattoo as well. I mean,
I'd imagine that because I thought about that too, and I think that is, and this is just me here brainstorming, but I think you basically just do like a tattoo, but like with melted vibranium for ink to get
how do you melt vibranium?
I mean, thankfully you can. Otherwise, you couldn't do anything with it.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. That's fair. You'd have to. Otherwise, you couldn't make the tool head like the so-called British tool. Yeah. Interesting.
The opening though I thought was a fantastic opening, one that it took me off guard, but in a good kind of way.
Yeah, no, same here. Like it enthralled me and roped me in immediately. You know? And prepared me for the flashback scene adequately, which both of those pairing together rocket us into the story really well. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the moral dilemma of King T'Chaka. What do you think about the decisions that he made here in this flashback?
There's a reason they didn't show us the entirety of the flashback. Yeah, because you notice throughout the movie we learn more of what he did,
right? Whereas
they could have easily told us that at the get-go. So of course there was a moral dilemma here, and I know, you know, had we the chance to sit with this fictional dead king and ask him, hey, so what were your thoughts about that? What was running through your mind in this moment? He too, I'm sure, as a good king he was, would have admitted to us like, that was a lot of reaction and a lot of emotion all together, and not one of my favorite moments as king. You know, it wasn't like it wasn't the easiest thing he would have done. I'm sure, even to him, Just then.
It was definitely a moral shade of gray, I thought, what he did. Because I can understand it, but I understand all sides of the argument on that.
Exactly. No, that's the point, too. Yeah. I mean,
it's supposed to be a moral quandary. It's supposed to be a hard thing to do or to contemplate. What do you think about Eric Killmonger's first appearance here in the museum?
Dude, I was thrown back because his appearance was kind of like the very first millisecond. Literally, it took me only a millisecond to realize who he was. But within that short time span between the beginning of the scene and that end of the millisecond, my first thought was, why the hell are his pants so long?
Once again, old man Kevin.
Dude, literally. Like, his pants were so long, man. And you're just like, what the shit? Oh, that's Eric Killmonger. What's he about to do?
Yeah, and secondly, I don't think his pants were as low as you think they were. There's a style of pants that look...
Oh, that's true. They just have huge,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call that section of pants. Yeah. They were very baggy. There it is. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, it definitely threw me off because I did not expect his character to dress that way immediately. But then as soon as we see him, and then his intelligence is not thrown into our face, but it's very much unfolded and handed to us like, oh, by the way, I'm super smart. I get what the hell I'm talking about. I know what I'm hearing when I get this lady telling me about these African, artifacts here. I'm sure he already knew all that shit. Like, oh, I know exactly what she's... Okay, she's right about this one. How about this one? Well, she's a little wrong, but whatever. We'll let that one slide. What about this one?
Right.
Yeah, and that, his immediate portrayal, exactly like I said in the preview part, his appearance and Claw's appearance shortly thereafter made me want to be part of the gang for a second. Like, yeah, come on, let's get away with this caper. Yeah,
right. I wonder how those two linked up.
Yeah, how did they meet?
Yeah. But I'm sure that it was probably Eric who realized that this black market arms dealer guy has his hands on vibranium. Let me see what this guy has to offer.
Right. I mean, he must have learned about his connections and how he was actually probably the most successful smuggler of vibranium.
Yeah, the most successful by far.
Yeah. Like, oh, you're still alive and getting this?
Right,
okay,
like basically the only one to get in and get out. Yeah.
How many encounters have you had with war dogs? Let me know. Yeah.
Yeah. And like that's the thing, man. Wakandans, don't forget, like he stole vibranium back in the day.
I mean, they had a 30-year-old record on this guy. Like, we get him, bring him in, or we're gonna kill him.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wakanda was not happy about that, bro.
No.
He went from bro to enemy.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I did kind of have a problem with.
Yeah, no, me too. Because at first they really had a great just relation on screen. At first you're really feeling like the camaraderie broship going on, and then it's just thrown away for one thing.
He was really quick to forget about T'Challa when T'Challa was supposedly dead.
Right.
Like, he was like, oh, well, and then with the new, what's your idea?
I know, right? Like, okay, you're really
and then he was really gung-ho about it,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, it was that was just something that felt a little bit rushed to me.
It did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that part was a kind of... It was forced for the sake of the story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And plus also, doing something that's in like direct opposition to your wife. Like, I'm not married, but I don't know how many married men would do that.
Right, yeah. Or how many... Well, actually, I can imagine more wives holding weapons against their husbands. Nah, man, but...
It's true. When it came down to just him and her, he bowed down. So.
Ooh, I'm going to backtrack a little bit here. What did you think of Claw's first appearance?
Of Claw's first appearance?
Yeah. Or of his reappearance, I'll say. Back on the big screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was great, man.
Yeah.
Like seeing him come in as a paramedic. I was like...
I mean, he was magnetic, dude. Like, oh, shit. I like this guy. Oh, you're the bad guy. I still like this guy.
He was super, super magnetic, super charismatic. So the question that I had about him that I couldn't ask in the spoiler-free section...
Yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm pretty sure I know what it is.
Yeah, mine was he lost his arm in Age of Ultron. Now, exactly how did he procure the
not claw?
Right. Yeah. How to get his sonic emitter arm?
Oh, it was the other arm.
Yeah. I don't know if I did that one, but it was his left arm.
Yeah, left arm. Yeah. Because they saw me pointing. No, I have no idea for that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel confident that he had vibranium maybe left over from when he...
Right, yeah, and who knows, maybe that...
Yeah. I mean, it's not a major question, but it's just, he does just kind of show up with it. And we're just forced to accept the fact that this guy has a vibranium arm.
And it wasn't a claw.
It was not
either,
a claw.
so...
No.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, though, like, he's had different iterations of that hand in the comics.
That's fair. We can't just limit him to a claw, for sure. It would have been nice to see him have a claw and then, like, take it off and put on a whole nother thing, like a glove mentality,
Right.
And all of a sudden it's like, what do I want for this bout? The claw's gonna be, nah, let's get that gun. That would have been okay.
Yeah, he was very, like I said, very charismatic all throughout up until, he died. And speaking of that, what you think about his death?
I wish it didn't happen.
Yeah,
I really did.
Me too.
Like, I would have loved for him to carry on a little bit more.
Yeah. I feel like there's more steam that character had.
Like, we could have seen him again.
Right. And, like, I had to do, like, a lot of, like, linking things together in my mind to justify why Eric even broke him out of jail.
Actually, you know what? That's a good point, too.
Yeah. Because he broke him out of jail, and they went to a plane, and then he immediately tries to kill him.
Right. Like, there's no need
to
even get him out of jail.
But the only reason that I can think of is that so he could have something like a tribute to bring to the Wakandans. Like, look, here's what I have.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. That makes great sense, actually, because that bought his ticket in.
Right.
Yeah.
But in doing so, the king of Wakanda knows that you're the jackass that did the whole thing. Yeah. I mean, so...
Well, the king already was sure of it because of the...
That's what I said. That's what I said. The king knew.
Yeah.
So it's like, you kind of lost face there a little bit, pal.
I don't think he really cared, honestly, if the king knew or not, because he quickly made his appearance. He quickly claimed, his right to the throne. He didn't really try to hold back or hide or
No,
nothing.
not at all. And that's something that was also like a stark difference from his comic book counterpart.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because in the graphic novel, or in the story, I should say, this was not a graphic novel back in these days. Or a trade paperback. But anyways, in the original story from the source material, T'Challa reaches out to him and is like, hey man, look, my family admittedly did wrong to your family, but let's make this right. You can come back to Wakanda with open arms.
We didn't see that at all here.
And then he comes back and he doesn't like immediately betray. Like it's like he puts on a face, basically.
Right? Yeah, he says, thanks.
Yeah, and pretends to all's well. Like there's even a village named after him and his family that he gets. Yeah.
Aw.
And then
this is the Killmonger village. Do we want to live here? I'm not sure.
It was it's like the Natajaka village.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say,
but
because that bodes well. Let's call it the Killmonger village.
Yeah, it was only once T'Challa left to go on a mission with the Avengers that then Killmonger struck. And once T'Challa returned, I don't know if I was reading this just the other day actually. He saves like an old man from dying or from being killed by some of Killmonger's men. Killmonger's basically taking over. Wakanda's like, T'Challa, where the fuck you been?
Just like that. Dude, you don't need to get out.
Damn it, Kevin. You need to get out.
No, I will. No, I will
need
not.
to get out.
Damn it.
For making that joke.
I loved it.
Anyways, but yeah, so
one in the cast.
That was a little bit of a difference there, from the source material, because like you said, Eric Killmonger, once he gets on the scene, he's like, "Hey, listen, I hate you, and I want your throne, and
you guys are comfortable up here. I'm gonna take that chair."
Yeah, I love his portrayal though of Eric Killmonger.
Oh
man.
yeah,
he was
so
great.
Good. Yeah. And one of the best things, and I'll always rave about this on a good villain. Damn it, he was a good villain. He was, by definition, by feel, by character, he was a good villain.
Right.
Yeah.
He was wrong.
Far. Exactly. He was wronged, and he had a great reason.
Right.
For being the way he was.
Yeah.
Again,
and
there was that
right.
pivot.
Yeah.
Again, using my old terminology, that pivot that he had was just like, oh shit, okay, this went a little wonky.
Right.
All of a sudden we get world domination. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so that's the thing. Like, because he never even actually. he implied that that's probably what he wanted, probably was going to happen if he got his way eventually.
Yeah.
But it seemed like he wanted his people to he wanted the people to black people to no longer be under any kind of oppression. He asked a bunch of questions like, so where were you guys when they were taking us away on boats? Where were you guys when the police were killing all of us, or when we're being incarcerated for no reason, or being beaten? He goes, where were you guys when all this? And he's asking some really powerful questions.
Oh no, he really is.
Yeah.
Honestly, and that's the part I loved about it. And this, I don't know how your thoughts go on this. I wouldn't be surprised if you agreed or felt the same already. But I felt that his character was very allegorical. He represented anger so well, Everything I saw in that character from that thought on that I had in the middle of the movie, that's all I could see in him. The rage,
Right.
The rightful rage, even,
It's this righteous indignation that he has.
Exactly. Well said. And his representation of that, all the anger that, he's not the first to feel it, know? And it was a great portrayal of it. It was a great representation at that point. Like, well, what the hell were you guys doing in the middle of this horrible part of our history, or this horrible part of our history, or this horrible part of our present day?
Yeah.
He brought it all, and he threw it in their face.
Yeah, and they had no answer.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was the answer that it was. You can still call it like a softball answer, because they were like, well, we take care of our own here, and his immediate rebuttal was, they are your own, we are your own.
Yeah.
And yes, it was a very powerful thing, man, and I love it because it's not black and white.
Exactly.
Like it's not this easy moral quandary to overcome. Like it's something that you have to sit down, think about, and talk about. It's not an easy thing to answer,
right?
But that's what I really love, and I also love that that was in this movie, not just because it needed to be said, but also because in the sense of the story, it creates a dilemma for our new king.
It had a dual purpose,
yeah.
And the second purpose, luckily, was that it definitely made that representation I wanted, and it also served the first purpose, being it served the story greatly. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
and I love that because you can see like the dilemma in T'Challa's face, like the
maybe
back
there
and
was a side
forth.
of him that agreed,
right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hearing Nakia, saying something not similar but related just scenes earlier,
right?
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, I really love that though. Let's talk about M'Baku for a second here, because
okay, you're right in what you said in the review, that in that moment he and all of his bros were the most jack shit in the whole movie.
They were huge.
Like, I could just imagine them up on Gorilla Mountain. That's my name for it, by the way, Gorilla Mountain.
Gorilla Mountain.
Up on Gorilla Mountain, just like making freaking barbells and bench presses out of mountain rocks, just like just like Gorilla walking out, just like, we're the shit,
I had a thought in the theater, and
What's
then
that?
I immediately answered my question, and it made me chuckle. So my thought was, I wonder where all the right gorillas are, and then my answer was, well, they must have killed them all.
Exactly. They just said, okay, we gotta kill these animals, guys. We gotta get as big as them to kill them. And dude, literally, when the ritual was happening, by the way, great setting for that. That looked amazing there.
Right.
Here's to me hoping that actually existed, which it, probably not.
Right.
But as they entered in, like literally all the people and the dude with the huge ass plate in his lip and everything, yeah. And then all of a sudden, these guys enter in. It's like, oh, these guys are the jacked ones.
Yeah,
they're the big ones,
right?
And then he comes up for the fight, and you're right. He was intimidating. He was large, and he was rearing to go. He's just like, all right, man, we're gonna hurt someone.
Yeah. Like, he was ready to do it, man, and he was doing damn well. I was afraid that was going to be all we saw of him in the movie.
Yeah, I kind of had that thought. I was ready for him to come back on screen when he did.
Yeah.
I was ready for him to come back on screen beforehand, too, Yeah.
But I do wish that they had built upon that, and have him play more the role of the antagonist.
Yeah. I was about to say, let's talk about that and flesh that out, too. Let's go into when he did finally appear back on screen.
Right. So this is after T'Challa is presumed dead, And at this point, Team T'Challa, they're coming up to
You mean his family?
and Everett. Okay.
And Everett. That's true.
So it was Ramonda, Shuri, Nakia, and Everett Ross. They're like they're Team T'Challa, and they're coming up Jabari, where the White Gorilla cult is. And were they ever referred to as the White Gorilla cult? Or was just the Jabari tribe? I think they were just called the Jabari tribe.
I mean, they were called a cult. Mm-hmm. They were called a cult. Yeah. I'm not sure they were called the White Gorilla cult. Yeah. If they were, it happened maybe once.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're making their way up to Jabari, and they, they're taking before their king M'Baku. Yep. And and M'Baku has some pretty funny comedy moments.
He really does. You know, he had a fun, appropriate for the story comedy moments. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, now for his character, I'm sure that's a whole nother ballpark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I think that M'Baku, the comic character, he kills T'Challa once he sees him wash up on shore, and he kills T'Challa's family once they're stupid enough to come up the mountain.
The end.
Yeah.
That's the movie. Michael B. Jordan got his way. Yeah. M'Baku's got satisfaction. The end. We're all done. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, it was a little, not a little, it was very surprising to see him make this face turn late in the game here.
Like, come with me before I eat that awesome fruit.
Right. And even if M'Baku had saved T'Challa, and even if he didn't murder T'Challa's family when they came up the mountain, then I do think that he does definitely eat of the heart-shaped plant.
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely eats it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he would do.
In fact, that's something I want to ask you during this part of the podcast, because I remember, I'm deliberately remembering you tell me that it was him and Eric Killmonger who both have the plant in them. Like, they both partake of it, but then T'Challa doesn't. I thought I remember you telling me that. Like, he doesn't have the plant in the comics.
No, so M'Baku, he does battle T'Challa, and of course the winner gets the particular plant.
Okay.
M'Baku fails, so that's where he goes and kills a white gorilla, bathes in the blood, eats the flesh, and that gives him...
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Thank you for the correction.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm happy.
Yep. Yeah, so it was just really surprising, though, to see, though, that still he didn't take it.
Right. I mean, had I been him in this situation, I'd been like... Thank you.
Yep.
Because of this payment. Here's your son.
Yeah, here's your son. Oh, that could have helped him. Oh, I didn't know. Who would have thought?
What?
You think it'd have helped him?
Don't worry about it. The snow's helping him.
Yeah. Which, by the way, like...
That didn't make sense to me medically. It's according to my medical knowledge. I mean... I guess you preserve some food by putting it in the fridge.
Yeah, my thing is that they're trying to Captain America him, you know.
Oh, that's some cryogenetics, I suppose.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if you can slow down the heart rate or the heartbeat just enough, I don't know. Maybe it does sustain life a little bit more.
I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, once again, this is Dr. Quentin talking, and we all know how qualified he is.
I just imagine
you got a broken finger. Take the arm off. It's the only way.
I just imagine like a Dr. Quentin line of proteins and supplements and whatnot.
Yeah.
and that I can imagine.
Right, yeah.
But you in a doctor's office? Nah, bro. It's not coming.
Oh, like, why are you checking my heartbeat? I need stitches.
Shh. Let me do this.
I'm doing my job here. You're not even doing it right.
Are you nervous? Your heartbeat's beating way too fast.
Yeah.
We're going to slow it down.
Anyways, but yeah, so that's one thing that I wish was maybe tweak a little bit. Once again, like you said, for the sake of the story, I see why they did it.
Right, yeah. It kind of makes me wonder what's going to happen if there's going to be a future relation there. Like, he's going to be like the reluctant go-to buddy, you know?
I hope not, because that's going even further down that rabbit hole that we don't need to go down.
Maybe he'll come out and be more villainous for Black Panther 2.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I mean, because... we're gonna kind of need it, you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Black Panther, like he does have more villains of his own, but I'd imagine they probably go like more for mainstream villain for his next time around. I don't know. Who knows? But I mean, overall, like I did like Winston Duke's portrayal of M'Baku.
Yeah.
I just wish that he had been written to be at least more intimidating when he needed to be.
Right, yeah. Intimidating, but then I think they could have, even with the intimidation, got away with some of those funny moments too.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
It's not the comedy that really took away from him. It's more the fact that he just no longer seemed like a threat. He no longer seemed angered. He no longer seemed like he had that same goal in mind that's been driving him so far.
Right.
You know,
like the comic version was the angry, why the hell are you people so advanced doing this to yourselves? Versus this part where it's like, oh, don't mind them. They're the stupid neighbors that buy the latest Apple iPhones. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's like he was more like he viewed the other tribes more as annoyances than than
the weak
enemies.
parts of the tribe.
Than something that need to be rooted and gutted out. So yeah, I mean that part I wish had been a little different. But let's go back a little bit here. Do you remember? I'm going way back here.
Okay.
And we knew this train was going to happen where we hop all over.
Exactly. Yeah. Chronological.
Yeah. What's that even mean? What you think of like the first really big action set piece we get, the one where it's the car chase.
Yeah, the South Korea car chase. Yeah. Dude, friggin' badass.
I love it. Yeah.
At that point, it was an appropriate use of the cool new augmentations to their already kick-ass technology that Shuri. Thank you. I didn't think it was the fruit. I would have recalled that easier. But Shuri. The augmentation that she already made to already impressive technology.
Right.
But no, dude, it was super cool seeing that. Like, the effects of the fruit in T'Challa. Just like, oh, excuse me, let me turn the car for you. Through the damn asphalt.
Yeah, they did such a great job of showing T'Challa's powers and, like, his abilities. Right. And what the suit can do, even. Yeah. Like, they did a great job.
That's a question I wanted to ask. So, comic book Black Panther, did he have cool ass charging supernova suit? Was that a thing?
I mean, on occasions, but not to that extent.
Thank you.
I mean, because like typically in the comics, he can absorb kinetic energy. Because like for example, if you shoot a gun at T'Challa, technically it doesn't deflect bullets.
No.
But what the vibranium does is it absorbs the kinetic energy upon impact. So it's like it touches you and then it falls.
Right.
Because there's no more energy driving it. I mean, what I thought was going to happen was that the suit would overload because dual suits can overload if hit with enough with enough damage.
Right, like he can't stand and take a whole couple clips of a gun. No.
Eventually, like something will eventually kind of penetrate, maybe even get through a little bit. Because vibranium, even that does kind of have its limit as far as it absorbing damage.
Yeah. Especially whenever you make it into a thread.
Right, and that's really why Claw was such a nuisance for him, because one thing that can also kind of almost nullify that aspect of the vibranium suit is loud sound being emitted.
Right, hence we saw that a little bit.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't know.
And also, I had a question in theater, but I just answered it now on my head.
What's that?
Well, the question I was going to ask was, we never saw that third suit being used, and I was like, oh wait, they gave it to Killmonger.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because
I'm sure he's just kind of said, "Hey, what's that? I like that."
Oh, that's a suit, a Panther suit. Give that shit here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was. I wish it's probably a deleted scene of him first donning that, because he just kind of has it when we see him.
We see him go into the courtroom, sit down in the chair for literally less than a minute, and he has it on.
Yeah.
And it's kind of there. You have to look for it, really.
Right.
Yeah. And then he goes on his rant and stands up.
Yeah. So that's very true. Yeah, there was like a moment where like he just kind of. Yeah, you just see him with it on. Like, if you're not looking for it, then
you'll miss it.
Yeah, you'll miss it, and you'll wonder where did he get the suit from. But in reality, that was going to be one of T'Challa's. But I wonder what that suit does differently than the other.
What they didn't show you actually that I researched myself.
Okay.
Yeah. What he can do, all he has to do is just kind of like mentally flex it, and the suit becomes like a light bending suit. So in other words, he can kind of go into invisibility camo style, you know? That's exactly what he can do.
Are you talking on your ass right now, Kevin?
I am a little bit.
I am?
Yeah. But that'd be kind of cool, right? A light bending panther suit, like, oh, let me go into stealth mode.
Yeah.
I'm invisible. What you gonna do? Yeah.
Yep. I feel like maybe they kind of imply that suit was more for like definitely combat, no stealth, like you're gonna be out in the open, you're gonna do this.
That's true. You're gonna notice it because we're black with golden leopard spots up her.
And like T'Challa said, even the necklace stood out more than the other. Yeah, and I really like the fact that they kept like the suit entrapped within the the necklace. And all
right,
that.
they kept it to the lore.
Right. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's like I was saying in the review cast, I think my overall my favorite fight in the movie was definitely the first fight between T'Challa and Killmonger.
Dude, you felt the impact of it. Yeah.
Like this right here reminded me so much of Batman versus Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. Mm-hmm. It reminded me a whole lot of that because this is one of the few fights where, just like The Dark Knight Rises, where as the fight's happening, like you feel anxious for the hero.
Yeah, and especially when Michael B. Jordan finally reveals himself, he's got all these scars, and you're sitting there wondering why the hell does he have all these scars? And it serves another purpose besides his own glory, I'm sure.
Right
here, it's like, hey, be intimidated. Look how bumpy I am with all my scars. These are all kills.
Yeah, these are all kills. Yeah. All my confirmed kills.
Well, shit.
Yeah. And then I was like, well, maybe they're just on his front. Nope, they're on his back too.
Yep. Nope, they're all over there.
Yeah.
At first, whenever he just pulled up his arm, I was like, okay, maybe they're just all up his arm. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Mm-hmm. Genocide.
But yeah, that fight I thought was amazing. And there's so many similarities to that and The Dark Knight Rises, and it was great.
Yeah.
Even the mysterious comeback, is a similarity.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
But I really enjoyed the fight because of the emotional weight it had, the story elements that were being told as the fight's taking place, and just the closeness of it, and you understand the motives of everybody involved here in the fight. And also just like The Dark Knight Rises, there's a spectator in The Dark Knight Rises. There was Catwoman looking on, concerned about Batman, and in this there's the tribe, looking on, concerned about T'Challa. But instead of him getting his back broken, he gets thrown off a freaking cliff. But yeah, that I thought was amazing. I really love that because it felt brutal, and I guess because there was less CGI and it was pretty much all practical effects between the two the two characters, it felt more brutal that way too.
Very much so, it did. Especially whenever you saw the carefully choreographed differences in their fighting styles. There are numerous times when I saw, for instance, M'Baku, going back to that first fight scene for the ritual, his fight style, I carefully watched. And did you know, every time M'Baku started an offense towards, our boy T'Challa, he started on the right. Every time he swung from the right, and 2 times he went from the right vertical and just went straight for a heavy hitter power style, right? I'm not going for speed, I'm going for, you know? Our boy freaking Michael B. Jordan, our boy Eric Killmonger, he had a whole different fight style, and I loved that they carefully choreographed and made these things. Eric had this awesome thing where he was just going in for a super aggressive look. I don't need no defense. Give me 2 weapons, you know. And then all of a sudden, okay, and he's just trying to power hit, breaking his defense there. You see him slamming down 2 different times in that huge fight sequence. No, you're going to take this hit. Yeah, and it was just super cool. I appreciated every second of it. Yeah.
Me too. I thought it was great. It was super impactful. Especially for the story. I thought that was great. And because there's this sinking feeling that you get because that for the sake of the story, T'Challa has to lose this somehow. But at the same time, come on, T'Challa, don't.
Exactly. Yeah. You're cheering for him and you're hoping, and then it's well, shit.
Yeah.
You got thrown off the cliff, buddy.
It could have been. He could have been stabbed to death.
That's true.
Like Juru. Yeah. That would have been
Juru or Zula.
Zuri.
Zuri.
Yeah,
Zuri.
Yeah.
And dude, that actor, man, he's really good at
Forrest
dying. Yeah, Forrest Whitaker, man. I feel like I've seen him die in a lot of roles.
I'm trying to think of something else he's died in. I don't know. But
his very short What the
lot.
Crap appearance in Star Wars, for instance.
Oh.
was another death of his, yeah. I know I've seen a few others. I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah. I'll have to look them up later. Fact check myself. But let me ask you this: so that was your favorite fight scene? What did you think of the ending, the big finale fight scene?
I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was anything spectacular. I thought it was really fun to watch, but it was like at this point, it's nothing I really haven't seen before. And you know,
well, come on. Where have you seen an armored rhino before? Let's stand up for that. That was kind of cool.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was cool, but I mean, we've seen giant armored beasts come onto the battlefield, you know?
Yeah. But rhinos.
Yeah. I mean, and it wasn't even that I was referring to. It was really more of the Panther Jaguar fight.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it was a cool fight, but it just felt a little uninspired, especially compared to the first fight that felt so emotional and so intense and so grounded. Well, this was like a CGI slugfest.
Right. Like this one was technically the more dangerous fight, but instead it carried more of a conversation piece almost between the two opposing characters, you know?
Now, I love what happened immediately following the fight.
Yes, that was good.
That was great. That was the most tasteful death in Marvel movie history.
Exactly. Yeah. My thoughts exactly, dude. I mean, the way Eric handled that death, the way the things he said even, the way he was just summarizing everything that his life has led up to. My daddy told me that this was the most beautiful place on the earth. And
to watch the sunset,
Yeah. I don't think he mentioned...
He mentioned the sunset because he was looking at the sunset.
Yeah.
Because T'Challa took him out to see the sunset.
Oh, no, I mean, before that, whenever he was on, first taking that knife, he's just my daddy told me this was the most beautiful place. But then he, took him outside, saw the sunset, and I remember, he said it there.
Yeah. For
sure. And then everything he said after that, too, was you're still not wrong.
Yeah,
even
you're still
death,
not wrong. Even in death.
You're
and
not
I think
out
that's
of your
something.
mind.
I think that's something that T'Challa's going to remember and take with him in the future. Because I mean, it's true. He really wasn't wrong. Even though I don't appreciate them teasing me, thinking that maybe he's going to live. T'Challa offered him, and mental help.
Right?
No.
I think honestly that was good. I think it still played into T'Challa's character well.
It did, yeah.
Because he was a good king. And in fact, T'Chaka in the heart herb vision in the red sand.
The Jalia.
Yeah. Thank you. Whoa, shit. Go you. That was obviously
that's what I had to grab my graphic novel for.
Gotcha,
I was like, what is the name of this realm?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Jalia realm.
Yeah.
Where the sky has a purple haze.
Yeah, it's like DJAHLIA, something like that.
Jalia.
Yeah.
Cool, I like it. But no, in that realm, the first time he went in the inauguration of his kingship, his dad said something really interesting. It was one of my favorite quotes of the movie. He said, "It would be hard for you to be king because you are a good man." Exactly. And that line is what I think of whenever we're talking about this moment here, where he's like, "Look, man, our doctors, we have the technology to bring you back. I'm sorry. Let me be more accurate here. To heal you,
right?
Not bring you back from the dead." Second wind, go. But no, it was fascinating there that he did that to me, because that still speaks to the fact that even after all this, he's a good man.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it spoke so well to both of their characters and both of their philosophies, both T'Challa and Killmonger, because of course Killmonger's rebuttal, like you said, was a great rebuttal.
Exactly. That was damn good.
Yeah. It was something along the lines of why, so you can put me in a cage.
Yeah.
Like even he says something like, was it my ancestors or I know, just like my ancestors know, it's better to be dead than enslaved.
Well, I mean, he said that. Nah, man. Just let me jump off the sides like my ancestors did. Even they knew.
Yeah, it's better to be dead than enslaved.
Yeah. Or in bondage.
In bondage, yeah.
And it's like, I can't argue that at all.
Yeah.
Like, shit. And
that shit was deep.
Yeah. And then he just pulls his own knife out and it's just like, all right. And then, yeah, like, damn. Well said. That was also one of my favorite lines in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Easy, dude.
Killmonger has some of the best shit that a villain's ever had, period.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's actually... Oh, shit, dude. You know what I just realized?
What's that?
That's gonna be some tough shit for Thanos to follow. Like,
I know.
He has to follow that.
I know. I mean, like, here's the funny thing, is that I don't think that anyone saw that coming.
No, really, no, we didn't.
Yeah.
Especially, and not to slam nobody, but especially with Marvel's history of villainry. Yeah, you know.
I mean, I feel like they have like a 40-60 ratio. Or like
40 being good.
Yeah, 40% I feel like they nail it, and then 60% is either or that was bad.
Like Zulu, yeah.
Oh, Zola?
Zola, thank you. Whatever the shit his name is.
Like Zulu.
I don't remember him. He wasn't memorable. He didn't do no cool shit.
Or even more, you mean Zemo?
No, that's the one. Okay. Yeah, Zemo. Yeah,
I was like, Zola wasn't that bad. He was it was like Zemo. Yeah,
Zemo was like, what the shit was your purpose? And I was so sad. Like, I was so sad for you, actually, that he appeared even as a picture in this movie. And I was just like,
that's the one thing.
Oh, damn.
That's the one reason why. That's the one reason why it's not better than Winter Soldier. They showed his picture.
It was like, even at that point, I was sitting there watching, just like, oh shit. And I look over for a quick half second. I'm just like,
I was about to throw my bolted recliner seat at the movie screen.
Man,
yeah.
You take him out of this movie.
Yeah,
you delete the scene.
Yeah, but it's true. I mean, because I am worried for Thanos because I remember how hyped I was for Ultron. And I mean, he kind of felt squandered.
Yeah,
he did. Baron von Strucker, he was squandered. I mean, Hela, I thought she was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't hate her.
I didn't hate her either.
Yeah.
Just everything else around her.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah.
But such a prick.
Yeah. Both villains and Guardians, especially poor Ronan.
Oh, Ronan.
Ronan deserves better than that.
He did.
But anyway, yeah. So let's come back here to the movie, though. The reason we mentioned all those.
To complain.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it because it's especially easy now to look at them as subpar villains in comparison to Killmonger.
Yeah.
Because he's just that good.
He was good.
I mean, I hate to sound like a broken record, but like his reasoning, like, ran deeper than a lot of villains.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, like, remember Loki, like in the early Marvel movies? Like, his pain and his anguish came from a real place.
Yeah.
It was real, you know?
It was good.
Yeah, it was way good. And then as the movies go on, then it kind of becomes something different.
Yeah, then it's like, oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, Killmonger, to me, he had that same type, realism to him. Like, that same type anguish, that same type pain. And I thought it was just a really, really good thing that this movie had a villain like that. Because honestly, if this movie didn't have Eric Killmonger in it, then I wouldn't score it nearly as high.
No. I mean, Eric Killmonger definitely was necessary for the movie to be as good as it was, you know?
And
that is still with Chadwick's awesome performance.
Right.
And with
That's with all the other
supporting actors and actresses. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But, man, dude. I'd go see this again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I'll go see it again.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, overall, I thought this was fantastic. I love the way that they incorporated the soundtrack into the movie.
Yeah.
That
dude,
was
that's
great.
awesome that they got Kendrick Lamar for so much of it. Like, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Marvel's pockets run deep.
It really does. And then, that also says that Disney's pockets run too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Man.
Oh shit, yeah. I'm so glad that this movie is being so well received and reviewed, and I'm so glad that people are going to go see this movie in just roves, because
exactly,
they're selling out everywhere, man. And I'm so glad that's happening. Yeah,
good,
because that needs to happen for this movie, because now we can definitely get a sequel. So that makes me really, really happy for this movie.
I technically stole someone's seat for the first 5
minutes. You did,
minutes.
Yeah, you did.
I totally thought my ticket said G11, but it was G13. I had to move over, guys.
At first, I was afraid that you had just bought the wrong seat altogether. You were in row H8.
I know, right? And then be like, dude, that part was awesome. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Who are you? You're not my friend. Listen to the podcast.
Oh man. You want to move on here to these post-credit scenes?
Yeah, let's talk about them. For sure. Mm-hmm. I loved the one that they showed us, and they didn't have to, but I thought it was, I will say, it was necessary for the wrap-up of what happened for the entirety of the movie. The one where we get to see him in the United Nations, making the big presentation that, we're going to help you guys out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I did love that they put in some snobby white dude who's just like, I'm sorry, what can your third world country help the world out with? Yeah. I love that they threw some spiteful prick into there.
Yeah. If only you knew. Yeah. And it's such a... It was such a great thing to see, because you can definitely understand why you want to keep Wakanda hidden. Mm-hmm. Shit. One man got in there, Claw, and he was able to fuck shit up.
Exactly.
Still,
he got a plasma cannon arm.
Right. Yeah. Still in all kinds of vibranium, and that's just one person. Now that Wakanda is now known, I feel that they're gonna definitely have to beef up their defenses.
Oh yeah.
Get the Dora Milaje on patrol.
Yeah.
But. I thought that it was a necessary thing to do, especially for the sequel and moving on, and incorporating Wakandan technology more into the MCU.
Yeah, I'm curious how that's going to play out, though. I'm curious how much of it we'll see in even Infinity War coming up here soon. Right. That's. Yeah. I'm curious.
We do know that of course he's going to be back in Wakanda. Yeah. For that, and he's gonna,
as we've already seen in the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, because I'm excited for that, because there's a lot for the Infinity War movie as a whole. For all you guys listening, I definitely recommend you read the book called Infinity. Just Infinity. It's not called anything else.
Yeah,
has a super convoluted beginning. Not gonna lie, some things in it I don't understand. Like Thanos wants to kill all of his children. He never explains why.
Zeus even had the same relation, to be honest. Zeus actually, I'm pretty sure he ate one or two of them. Yeah, just to stop them from overpowering him.
Yeah.
So I haven't read Infinity. So
at least Zeus gave an explanation. Thanos does not. Thanos is just
mid-plate.
Thanos is just it's a good idea if I kill all my kids. But anyway, the reason I recommend this book is not just to prepare for Thanos, but because there's a lot of Black Panther in this too. A lot of Black Panther, a lot of Shuri, a lot of Wakanda in this, focusing on the war between the Wakandans and the Atlanteans. There's a lot of focus on that, in which I hope that Marvel can finally use Namor, because that would be an amazing war to see on screen.
Would. Oh my gosh, that would make a good Black Panther 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I want to give him plenty of time to set up. It's 3, not 2.
Yeah. I agree.
Because damn, then you're gonna have the roughest ruling time ever in all of Wakandan history.
Right. Yeah.
Ooh, I wonder then if we're ever going to see the Illuminati come up soon.
Yeah,
that could be a number 3 as well.
They got Black Panther, they got Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Once this deal finalizes, they'll have
Namor and Charles.
And Charles Xavier and Beast. So that'll round them out if that deal goes through.
I wonder if they're gonna have.
Oh, they'll also need to bring Black Bolt.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, he has to come down.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they're gonna have McAvoy. for Charles Xavier if they're gonna have the rights to use him again. Oh shit!
They're probably gonna go with the older Charles, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, not someone who's 30 something.
Do you think Patrick Stewart would come back out for it?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Shit.
But yeah, real quick, I had some thoughts about the Infinity Stones. Like,
yeah, we didn't see.
Yeah, we didn't see them surprisingly.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember, like in the preview podcast, guys, I had 3 thoughts about the Infinity Stone. My 3 thoughts were either my first 2 thoughts were if they were in the movie. I said either A is going to be in Necropolis, the place of the dead, where he can commune with the previous Panther gods. Kind of makes sense that
this place
Soul
was called
Stone,
Djala, essentially, and that was Necropolis.
Well, Necropolis is the actual city that he can go to
in that
commune.
case,
in the dream state, the Djalia, then
that's a whole different thing. Then, okay, so in that case, we didn't see Necropolis.
No,
because Necropolis can't be a tree,
right? My second guess was that it was going to be part of the heart-shaped herb, fulfilling the whole Thanos theory.
Yeah, and I liked that idea, but it wasn't.
It wasn't. Even though it looked like a gem.
Yeah, it really did. Yeah, like a flower gem.
Right. Yeah.
And it sucked that Eric burned all that shit.
Yeah,
like,
I thought for sure that like one of the post-credit scenes they would like go to the scorched earth where it was, and then they'd be like
find another one. Yeah,
I
would have loved that.
No, I thought there'd be like a gem sitting there.
That would have been cool too.
Yeah. And then
a little too on the nose on it. I feel in a sense, because then it's like, wait, how's the gem planted in this one spot? You know, maybe like deeper in the core they would have found it. That would have been okay,
something like that. And then, of course, on the preview podcast, my third guess was that, and if it's not one of those, then it's probably not in the movie. And my third guess was essentially that it's still in Adam Warlock's head. And so that's probably where it is.
I like that one, too.
Yeah.
I could see that one, giving him a soul.
Yeah. I'm a real boy.
I'm sorry, let me hear your Pinocchio again.
What's that now?
You have no strings holding you back.
Oh, shit. I guess Ultron needed that. Anyways,
I know, right?
Yeah. But that was my guess for the gem. But yeah, we didn't see them in Wakanda. Yeah.
Which, it's cool. The movie did well without it.
It did. Yeah, it didn't need that. Right. I'm almost happy that it didn't have that in it, because that would just draw people's attention away from the plot. Mm-hmm. And I think that it would also it would. I don't want them to put any focus from their story on that. You know.
Yeah. Also, it's kind of this was a super ADD thought, but I'm gonna share it anyways. It was super cool that this movie potentially has brought back the whole "what are those" craze. Yeah. Like I'm waiting for those memes to be restored and be sent some more. You know,
that was great. Yeah. And once again, Letitia Wright as Shuri, man, she was great.
That was a great casting call.
Yeah, and Dana Guerrera as Oyoke, she was also freaking phenomenal.
Also great.
Like those were two. I think those were my 2 favorite supporting characters.
Mm-hmm. They were great, dude.
Yeah. Let's see, but let's talk about the last post credit scene here.
Yeah. I was waiting for this one, guys, because in the preview podcast we were both talking about how we agreed that we were going to see Captain America or Winter Soldier, or both. We did see Winter Soldier come up out, armless still.
Well, no, we saw Winter Jesus.
That's true. We did see Winter One-Armed Jesus, because he had the garb on and everything, and he's just like
the longer
staring
hair
out, and it's just
the beard.
like we literally shared that joke in the theater. Like, he kind of looks like Winter Soldier Jesus now.
He's the Winter Jesus.
Oh gosh. But yeah, no, it was
the Winter Savior.
No, damn it, no. Oh gosh. Oh, that sounds like a bad book.
He's here to save you from all your sins,
or from the cold,
or from both. From the coldness of your hearts, from all sinning.
There it is. And we're a religious podcast. Done. But no, dude, like, even the short appearance we saw, I was very grateful for, because they didn't really explain a lot, but they did definitely tie in some ropes together here, The ending of... Help me out here. The ending of Winter Soldier, we definitely saw that finally being tied in here.
Yep.
And the... Shuri, actually, we saw her interacting with him, some kind of tying in a little bit more, interweaving ideas of Wakanda.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, like, how long has he been awake, I wonder?
True.
How far in the future does this take place also?
I think he's still in the healing phase because he's going to sleep. I can imagine, and this is me filling in blanks myself here, mind everybody, that, you know, as he's going to sleep, he's in the healing stages still, so he's sleeping for more hours of the day than he ever did. Thus, he's passing out more often. Thus, that's why we get these 3 kids, like, staring the shit out of him in the beginning of the cutscene. Yeah, they're just like...
They're probably like, I wonder if all white men only have one arm.
It's like, huh, he's got a beard. And they, like, start shaving it or something.
This is not Logan.
I know, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was a really cool scene. Now, I was trying to figure out, like, you know, was this scene was this just to show us that Bucky is alive and walking around and he's well?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if they're trying to, like, tell us anything else from this scene, but I guess it was just to show us, hey, look, here's Bucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was fine.
Yeah. At least the intro to the idea that he's going to get a kick-ass vibranium arm.
Yeah.
Now imagine if they gave his arm, like, the whole supernova thing too. Like, come on, man. That's OP.
Yeah, that would be OP.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, though.
Wakandan soldier.
Yes. The Winter Wakandan.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, man.
He'd have a WW.
Okay. It's almost 2 hours.
It is.
Man.
Let's do this thing.
Let's go ahead and wrap this up. You got any closing comments, Kevin?
Well, guys, gals, I hope all of you enjoyed the movie as much as we did.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this was one of the best movies that we've had the chance to review thus far. Cannot wait to do it again. You guys?
Yeah.
I might go see it again. We'll see.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the next movie we're going to go see and review?
Infinity War? Maybe?
I think it's
Deadpool, maybe.
Deadpool comes out after Infinity War.
It does. Okay.
Yeah.
In that case,
I thought there was something in between here and Infinity War, but I guess not.
Well, maybe a DC movie?
No. Aquaman comes out in November.
Yeah, that comes out late.
Yeah. So I guess there's nothing else, folks. So yeah, next time that we
Infinity War.
Next time we do one of these review casts like this will be for Infinity War. So holy shit.
Exactly. We're coming up, guys.
Yeah. Russo's don't let this one suck. And not that they,
I know, right?
Not that they do that.
Balls in your court, guys.
Yeah. But they really got to nail it here. But yeah, guys, like Kevin said, definitely go see it again, because it's worthy of it.
Oh yeah.
Black Panther really was a fun movie, man. Like I said, it did have a few minor flaws that we saw in it, but I mean, overall, it is still, in my opinion, definitely one of the most enjoyable Marvel movies of all time. I think right now my top 4, I don't know what number 5 would be, but top 4 is I'm not putting these in any order either. But it's definitely Iron Man 1, Avengers 1, Winter Soldier, and Black Panther. Those are my picks, like the best of the best that Marvel has to offer right now.
Yeah.
You got anything else before we close up shop here?
Nah, man, I'm good.
Yeah. So we can go ahead and take it home here, guys. So as always, if you guys like what you hear, then please, give us a rating on iTunes. That helps us out a lot. We are now also on Spotify, so yes, so you can go tell your friends and all that, and they can listen to us in more ways than one now.
Multiple times.
Yeah. And as always, guys, if you have any questions, comments, gift threats, food, supplies, or vibranium, then hit us up at superherohomies@gmail.com or the Facebook page of the same name.
Good job mixing it up there. Yeah. I would love some vibranium.
And as always, guys, I'm Quentin.
I'm Kevin.
See you next time.